side a full-time rapper, check my mileage. I go to move the minus, I go to new allowance. Another one, can't be, they say I done enough, they can't see. I'm not a runner-up who can't breathe. I'm still the son of what? Of Augustine. How I keep coming up and then erupting. Looking like I should never be amongst them. I should be out there in the function, young and free. The end of discussion, whoa. The end of discussion, whoa. Young and free, the end of discussion, whoa. The end of discussion, whoa. Yeah, new whip outside is different. Ask me where the carpet, mind your business. New whip outside, I'm vicious. Ask me where the carpet, I'll admit it. Can't you tell that I'm riding with it? 5 or 6, I can't find those digits. Line them up and say mind your business. Don't you know that my mind is different? Can't you tell that I'm riding with it? 5 or 6, I can't find those digits. Line them up and say mind your business. Don't you know that I'm riding with it?
Yeah, gotta aim for the top like, hold up, yeah. I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got them, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like pain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. Putting on for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it, and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You tryna aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. God got you with the switch, you know.
I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah.
I'm in my element, flow is like water. I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God, and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time. They think I'm crazy, but I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. We beating the odds just to sum it up. You know it's a rap, never waste lines, and I'm cutting the weight like a tummy tuck. That mean I'm about to give it all right now. You see what's coming down the line, I never pipe down. I give 100% of me, trying to stun on my enemies. In my element, as crazy as that might sound.
I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element.
Never switch up. 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 Never switch up.
Keep that same energy.
Never switch
I'm in my element.
Balmy afternoon in the Clear Fork Valley is our setting for an exciting early season boys soccer showcase featuring leading scorers Finn McCauley, Caden Beachy, and the Colts seeking a second straight win against Mason Gamble and last season's district runners-up in Norwalk. It's all coming at you live and free anywhere the internet can be found, and it's coming at you next.
looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement, an important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
It's the Panchos Tacos pregame show here at the fabulous Clear Fork Corral. Brian Skoronsky hanging out with Travis Berardi here in the booth today. And a couple teams are going to build some momentum coming off of successful seasons last year. So I think this is a pretty good early barometer for two teams. Maybe not elite, Travis, but pretty darn good to find out exactly where they sit moving into the meat of their season inside the conference.
Absolutely, and two teams that are coming off of very nice wins after tough starts to the season.
Tell you more about the Norwalk Truckers and what they have been doing here of late. They certainly got healthy against Sandusky after dropping their last two following an opening night win, Trav. And coming off of their first district championship appearance in a decade, they got a bunch of dudes back. Some young players, but certainly some old hats as well. Some guys that we're about to tell you about that have been around the program for a while.
Yeah, and the two losses, Country Day only one loss. They're, I think, 4-1 right now, so not a bad loss there. And then Madison, you've seen them once, I've seen them twice. Very good squad. They're going to be one of the tops in that district that Norwalk still is in. Clear Fork, as we know from our first broadcast with them, dropped down to D4. But any game right here that Clear Fork can take advantage of, it helps in the seeding. You beat somebody in the division ahead of you, people notice.
Dive inside of our player spotlight now, and I mentioned one of the veterans on this team, Mason Gamble. He's big, he's fast, he's a physical presence, and he's more than just a defensive anchor this year. He's starting to become a scorer now, Trav. A couple of goals already through the first 4 games.
Yeah, and this is something that, you know, not only the offense but the defense too, helping 2 shutouts for the Truckers, and one of those main pieces that helped them last year make it to a district championship match before falling to that buzzsaw that was Lexington all those years. But maybe he can help his team this year. It seems like that district's come back to the pack a little bit, and his play could be pivotal for them, especially here today.
And he's such a crazy weapon when you're down inside of the attacking third. If the ball goes out of bounds, he's got the best throw-in I think I've ever seen at the high school level. It basically doubles as a corner kick. Now, the opponent today, the Clear Fork Colts, playing here at home. They shook off an 0-2 start with a draw and a victory over their last couple of matches and have been averaging 4 goals per match during that stretch. Beachy and McCauley leading the way.
Yeah, and again, 2 tough matches. Huron the tie, but Central Christian, we've seen them a few years ago, them with Mansfield Christian battling in a state semifinal. It looks like Central Christian's getting that game back. Tough loss there, but then, like I said, same thing with Norwalk beating Sandusky 13-0. Clear Fork has a nice blanking of Gallion and hopefully get some of that momentum back.
Talks a bit about Finn McCauley and the scoring that he's been able to produce here as of late. The senior has been a 2-way stud for his coach Nate Gailey this season, and sometimes that's all it takes is to become the top dog. When you're out there and there's nobody older than you, it feels like Finn has taken it upon himself to be one of the team leaders out here. He's making it happen. He's a defensive player, but starting to get involved up in the attacking third. 3 goals and already shared a helper as well.
Yeah, and him alongside Cade Beachy, that 1-2 punch, it makes it's harder for teams to just focus on one player, double team them. When you have 2 dynamic scorers, it spreads things out a little bit more, opens up the offensive attack.
And for both of them to be veterans and the leaders on this team, it sets a good example. They're high motor, big time energy type of kids. Seem like they're very well liked as well. So could carry Clear Fork quite a long ways here during this regular season. Before we meet the starting lineups for both of these teams here and then dive into our keys to victory, we'll first honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And with that, we are just about ready for some Saturday afternoon boys high school soccer action coming your way live and free exclusively on the OH Report. But who wins today and why, Mr. Berardi? Let's dive inside of our keys to victory. First for Clear Fork. Give me your thoughts. How do they get a win?
Well, for the Colts today, what they need to do is right there, ride momentum. Big win, 6-0 over Galleon. You got your first conference victory of the season in your first conference match. Use that momentum. You found out your offensive output a little bit more there. Continue that into today. And then yours, well, a little bit off the momentum, capitalize.
It just, it sounds so easy, but when you get up into the attacking third in this beautiful game, it doesn't matter if you have 100 shots or 2 shots. It only matters which ones find the back of the net for Clear Fork. That's been kind of a problem here at stretches over the last couple of seasons, so you got to make the most of your opportunities when you get them here this afternoon. And for the Truckers, I'm going to go with attack the wings, Travis. They should have a speed advantage, in my opinion, on the perimeter. At least we saw that last year. They've got a couple of track kids out there that are running around. So if they can filter the ball out wide, it can certainly create some chaos on the back line for the Colts.
In mind, find an identity. You have multiple players that are back from that district runner-up squad. You now have, after that big win over Sandusky, of 9 players that have scored a goal. Find that identity, establish it, and try and get that mojo back that you had at the end of the year last year.
As we're getting ready for action here, teams are being introduced out on the field. If you guys drop us a comment today on our Facebook and our YouTube channel, we can make you a part of the action on our fan zone. So shout us out. We will do the same right back at you.
Shout out.
Clear Fork, a lot of veterans in the lineup here this season. Liam Beer on the back line, along with Owen Bourne, 2 seniors. Love seeing that defensively for them. A couple of youngsters as well that are starting to make a name for themselves. Landon McCauley, the younger brother of Finn, who we spotlight here today. Cade Beachy, just a sophomore, but he's kind of that straw mixing the drink offensively here for Clear Fork. Senior keeper Hayden Wilson. So for Coach Nate Gailey now in his 7th season, I think this is a pretty exciting group where they've got a collective of some young up-and-coming talent. Matter of fact, they have to lean on some of these sophomores to produce, Travis. But there's plenty of 12th graders out here that they've been around the program. All they've known is Nate and his culture, and just need to be that glue to try to carry them through the core of their season, because they've got some tough matches coming up, and it all starts with this one here today.
Yeah, and that roster, you have those seniors, but then only one junior, the rest sophomores. So, you know, it's going to be gut check time for some of those sophomores that are going to be in here playing, but also that just shows that once these seniors are graduated, it's not a rebuilding in the next 2 years. It's just a regroup and retool.
And on the other side for Norwalk today, another team that's got a nice mixture, plenty of seniors out there. We talked about just how much of a game changer Mason Gamble can be. Then when you look at Ramirez and Ramos and the likes of Norwood, all these seniors got a nice taste of winning last season and looking to continue that tradition here with Chris Schnell in his first season as the head coach. Congratulations to him, just picking up his first win against Upper Sandusky, and then a huge 13-0 blowout of Sandusky in their previous match on Thursday night.
Yeah, not a bad team to inherit either, with all the firepower that they have back. Let's go. Let's get started.
Soccer doubleheader underway here from the Clear Fork Valley this afternoon. We will have Big Walnut versus the Lady Colts of Clear Fork. 7 p.m. the start time for that one. A full day of action here from the Valley, as this one is ripped and it is off of the uprights. It is football season. It's back. College football Saturday. I know you've got a watchful eye. You got all your West Virginia gear on. College game day out there. Tons of excitement with college football returning. It's always a great time, certainly in the Buckeye State as well. I know that high expectations per usual for the Bucks.
Especially with the players you guys brought in.
Combo. Hey, you're allowed to now.
Hey,
it's okay.
$20 million NIL. We were just talking about that. But, hey, you want to win a national championship now, you got to spend money. That's why Pat McAfee donated $1 million to the Country Roads Trust, the NIL for West Virginia, to at least keep them in the run.
Throwing down the far sideline, and maybe a toe over the boundary, so they'll have to run it back. Give possession back over to the Colts.
We'll say the game in Morgantown in a weather delay. Thankfully, that line of storms developed to the east of us, so looks like we're going to be fine weather-wise for the rest of the day and evening, knock on wood.
Temperatures in the 80s, cloud covered, very balmy though. We had
humid.
Big time heat come through the area the last couple of days, made Friday night football tough for at least the playing conditions and those athletes out there in the armor. Not as bad here today. Little breeze coming through Bellville as well. And just an otherwise nice day for some high school sports around North Central Ohio.
And you've seen here in the first 2.5 minutes, it's just been Norwalk on the offensive attack. Colts have just been playing clear out. And once again, they do knock it out of bounds for another throw-in. And I think actually deflected off a Norwalk defender or a foul. We got a foul.
Yeah, it's going to be our first whistle. This will go against the Truckers. Liam Beard tees it up, getting ready for the restart. And he was just a big ball of energy during the pregame. I seen him out there dancing around, loving everything that was hitting his eardrums off of the mix. And that's one of those type of guys that he's earned his captain role back there. He's been sharp thus far through the early portion of the season, coming off of that shutout win the other night against Galleon, the first shutout. And right on cue, here comes Leon, a slide tackle, and catches a nice clean piece of the ball in front of Kingston Gonzalez. And you kind of need that. You need somebody who's fearless on that back line to truly be successful. And some parents or fans don't like it, but that's what it takes. It's just to have to come in and just be that bruiser. Every now and again you're going to draw a foul, but you got to be able to create that contact and give some of these little offensive threats something to think about.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Soccer, it's a contact sport. It's not as much of the other football. But, I mean, if you have that back line, especially the one that doesn't draw the cards, clean slide tackles, able to get the ball first before contact, You need that in the back line, especially if you want to be successful. And if you can do it right, it really, knocks the offensive player off their game. They won't come as hard at you.
Beachy lost his footing. The ball trickled its way over the boundary, though, setting up a goal kick. After we saw our first shot attempt of the match, that courtesy of Mason Gamble from the short corner for Norwalk. And now in his senior year, getting much more involved offensively here in the early portion of the campaign, and he's just such a dynamic weapon. Tough to keep him away from any aspect of the game, and big-time high energy, big-time motor dude. That's why you've seen he's tracking already. He's probably ran about a half mile in these first 4.5 minutes.
Especially you get that adrenaline going at the beginning of the match. Just hope you don't overrun yourself, run yourself out before halftime.
Couple Truckers comments floating in here. I want to say what's up to Olivia. I presume a big fan of Mason Gamble out there. How could you not be? And Eric Rengel, who graduated last year, I think, was a member of the team.
Clear Fork starting to establish an offensive presence here. A couple possessions they've had down. But Norwalk will get the throw in on that one.
It's a quick one. It's headed towards the middle of the park here by McCauley. Collected now by West Bunnell. And a little bit careless right there by Landon McCauley. But the Colts regain. Trying to push it to the middle. Norwalk did well to pinch in the defense and trying that same strategy. But here comes Gamble, head of steam, the header down to himself.
Yeah, that's a
tight window, and he's able to squeeze it through. The shot is into the corner of the net. 1-0. Ben Snyder delivers. Quick goal here for Norwalk in the counter attack. Gamble setting it all up. Great secondary look at that pass on our Home and Kitchen Supply replay. There was not very much room to try to thread that needle. Mason was able to do it. Big time assist for the senior. And Snyder able to hammer it home.
What was really impressive was with how Gamble was able to head that down into the ground to himself to start that fast break off. That was a tough play he made. Usually those headers just ricochet away, but he was able to put it right into the ground, start the fast break, and then give it to Snyder for the tally. 1-0 in the 6th minute.
The seniors combine for the goal. And a little bit of a heavy touch there for Finn McCauley. So it ends up in the hands of Jose Negret, starting keeper for a second season.
Clear Fork early on, they've had a couple of chances, but a little bit too strong on the touches.
This one's going to go the other way.
I think an illegal throw.
Second time we've seen that tonight from the Truckers. Big toss in. Beachy sets it up in the middle.
That was a nice collection there on the throw in.
And now the cross. Headed down to Gret.
Ooh.
Has to dive on top of it. But no harm, no foul there. Clear Fork, they were trending towards the box. And off of this cross, just a tough way to come in and get a piece of it off of the skip for the header. You normally like to play those out of the air if you can.
Yeah, it took some of the momentum off of it, so the header wasn't as strong towards the goal. That's going to be offsides. And allowed the keeper to collect it, muff it, then collect it again.
Bronson Frost whistled for the infraction. We've got, I think, just 2 referees out here today. Changes things just a little bit when you don't have that head official in the middle.
Yeah, they're going to be getting a workout in today, especially if they're covering all 4 matches. But it really does change things. And why, if anybody's interested, you can become an official. Myself, I'll pass.
What do we got here? It looks like a whistle's going to go against Clear Fork. And this is the big weapon that I was talking about when Gamble gets involved offensively. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen this kid off of a throw-in, it's basically a corner kick. And as I say that, he elects to go short with it, and a ton of contact. Whistle did not come. Certainly looked like Snyder tried to sell it.
Yeah, he tried to sell that. He was boxing him out, and then I think just the Clear Fork defender just pulled the rug out from underneath him, moved away. That's a good no call.
Trying to find him here. Stepping in front is Bunnell. He'll flip it forward. Headed now by Beachy. Couple connecting passes, and it's the Colts trying to flip the field with Swindoll. Drawing a crowd. 3 Norwalk defenders all converge. Turnover now. Back to Norwalk.
Colts just haven't early on been able to really complete multiple passes in a possession. You've had a couple of those through balls that were too strong. Did have the one cross that was headed, but like we said, it was off the skip and not through the air, so they couldn't get a good shot off on that.
Substitutions being made on both sides, 1 each. As we're just about 10 minutes here into the action. Balmy outside, not warm enough to warrant the water break mandates per the OHSA rules today. Though soccer matches all week, getting 4 water breaks per match, 2 per side, plus the halftime, of course.
It's another offsides. Actually, in the Madison, Ontario match, it was 1-1. Right out of a water break, Madison was able to get a goal off of it. So some teams able to take advantage of that extra timeout to set something up and score. That was a turning point in that match where Madison knocking off Ontario 3-1. And the Rams, we saw them opening night here. They've got a really good squad. I talked with some of their players after the match. They're looking forward to that matchup with Lexington, especially after what Ontario was able to do.
Redeflected here by Gamble on the low shot attempt.
He made that look so easy, too. I mean, that's a tough play. Just stuck the foot out there, deflected it away.
Yeah, he's a smooth athlete. Nick Martin getting a little bit of juice behind that one as well. Gamble, at least a 3-year starter. Not sure of his playing experience as a freshman, but he has collected a ton of varsity minutes here over his varsity career.
Nice job by the Norwalk defense there to shift with the play, stop those passing lanes, and they get the change of field.
Nice flick, too, there by Kingston Gonzalez to initiate the offense. Deflected off the Snyder pass, but Norwalk going to hang on to possession. Back over to the Colts now. Down the line, on the money to Weichel. Turns into a
nice
crowd.
Pass.
Yeah, sneaks it through. Here comes Martin.
Ooh, tripped up a bit.
Stepping up, Beachy with the pilfer. Give and go. A little bit too much hot sauce behind that one from Finn McCauley.
A nice positive for Clear Fork. After the goal, they've really picked it up offensively instead of, letting Norwalk get settled in momentum-wise.
Truckers trying to flush it out from the corner. And they'll do that to the middle. Snyder flips it forward to himself. Gonzalez on the chase. Beer beats him there. Liam with a nice crossover.
Great presence of mind for him as well. He's triple teamed and still able to get off a good pass and a good chance. But again, too strong on the through ball.
Like the look that time set up by the Colts. Gamble, a little bit too much acceleration. Split the difference, got there first. Beachy to Martin, sets it up for the right foot, and now deflected. Back the other way, Truckers. Give it away on that first pass to Landon McCauley. who pushes it forward now for Finn, looking to make a move. He goes touchline. Here comes Finn McCauley.
I think that's going to be a corner.
Be the first corner kick for either unit so far this afternoon.
Great speed coming down that goal line. That's all that Norwalk was able to do, because if that ball gets into the box, this might be an even score.
McCauley drifts that one way too far, overshot everything. Not sure it even got into the field of play at any moment.
Right as he kicked that, he put his hands on his knees. He knew that was a miss hit.
Goal kick coming up for Jose Negrete. Giving up an average of exactly 1 goal per contest so far. Balanced scoring attack for Norwalk so far this season. Per your research, would you say 9 dudes have already scored?
Yeah.
That is what you call spreading the love.
I mean, look at the speeds of these forwards. That's going to be, I think, a foul on Beer.
Yeah, this will favor Norwalk. It's going to be a tough angle. I think they'll put Snyder on top of the ball.
And there's enough of an angle that he could go at the net, but play it more like a shorter version of a corner.
He'll trade off here in favor of Connor Nickel. 4 Truckers fanned outside of the 10-yard marker. The shot deflected back at you. That was Gamble who had a chunk of it. 3rd shot by Mason Gamble already tonight. Leads the team with 8 total on the season. Now Martin turns the corner. Able to avoid the first defender. To the middle of the park and just missed the intended target.
And that's been the name of the game so far for Clear Fork. Almost. But not quite enough. On the Norwalk side, I like, Nickel. What's his number? 5.
Some basic math alliteration there with the number. And speaking of Nickel, because I've got the microphone on and I'm allowed to, I want to give a shout out to my cousin Ben, who survived training camp with the Washington Commanders.
Let's go.
Got his ankle rolled up on. He's doing rehab, but he got invited to join the practice squad.
Hey.
How cool.
That is awesome.
Have not had a family member in the NFL yet until now.
Not many people have.
Pretty awesome.
But that is pretty awesome, especially, more likely than not, if there's injuries that do occur, get signed off the practice squad, or other teams can sign you off the practice squad as well. So knowing that he still has a position with the squad, it says a lot.
And I saw the contract too, so I'm pretty happy. I'm going to be expecting some charter flights to some Commanders games coming up here real soon. I know the Browns are going there this season.
I think the Commanders will be better than last year. I said that. Maybe 5 wins. I think they might get like 1 upset. Is that going to be a corner? No, it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, that was well played by Beer.
But I think they might get an upset. Might maybe beat Dallas once, or the Giants, or Philly once. Get that upset, that big win for them. Maybe 5 or 6 victories for the Commanders.
I think everyone's going to beat the Giants this year.
Yeah.
At least in that division.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to NFL. We get like 4 days of NFL coming up this next week. What do we get? Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Although Friday, we're all going to be busy anyway. We got football too.
Week 3, going to be a big one on the OH report. Last night, our only week that we have 5 or less live streams. So our schedule is pretty packed moving forward.
Tough break for Clear Fork there. Handball. Just a bad bounce. Clear Fork, speaking of the Clear Fork football team, just a tough start to the season. 2 powerhouses out of the break.
Coach Brokaw, if you're out there and you're watching, I appreciate that you want to go challenge yourself, but what are we doing here out of the box? We're traveling 2 weeks in a row to Perkins and then Granville.
Yeah.
2 teams that I think were state Final Four last year, and you're coming off a 1-win season.
Yeah.
Didn't much understand the thought process there. I like that if you feel like you're loaded in talent. But to come home 0-2 and to give up, I think, a combined 100 points, I thought it was interesting to want to start the season that way. And now very much in danger with Lexington coming to their place home opener next Friday. Dropping to 0-3 before you went into MOAC play.
Something's got to give in that game, too. Both teams 0-2. Both teams playing two good squads to start the season as well.
You know, we'll be here with the coverage live and free next Friday night. I'm on the call along with Mr. Sean Adams. Looking forward to seeing the Colts with my own eyes this year.
Live and free, and then anytime you want to watch it back, it's free, too.
Yeah, I noticed that we've been getting a lot of reviewership on our football games. We'll be getting 5,000 to 8,000 people watching in real time, and then going back and we've been getting double the viewership that we've received the last couple of seasons. It's been very cool to see as this one gets deflected. That's off the back calf of Bronson Frost, and we'll set up a corner.
And that's why I say the replays are free as well, because you can come to the game. Come to the game. We want you to come to the game. Spend, buy those tickets for the school, help the athletic program, watch the game here, go back, and then watch it again from the comforts of your own home, especially if they're really good games.
Nickel. Great setup.
Oh,
wow. Off the side
doink.
post. You cannot schedule that one any better. Great piece of header work, too, by Landon Ferkel. Folks, look how close this is on the Home and Kitchen Supply replay. That close to being 2-0 on the Jackson Well Services scoreboard. Wow.
In any type of football, the doink, not what you want to see.
Unless
that
you're
thing
a Colts
was
fan.
shot, too. Yeah, that thing was shot,
top
too.
defender right now.
Did you see how far that ball went off the ricochet, too?
That's what I was saying about Ferkel. I mean, he caught every inch of that one. As Martin turns back towards the middle of the park, forced off the ball, Oglesby. Nice aggressive piece of defending.
A little hello there. Contact. Clear Fork's been able to get the run on this left side. It's just that next pass up front that they have not been able to connect yet. If they can do that, they're going to have a nice maybe one-on-one or one with the goalie.
Another great touch out wide. Here's Kabuto Setzer.
Nice move.
Turns in, and wow, somehow it just stuck right in between the shins there of Negrete.
I think that rolled off his foot a little too far than he wanted on the touch, and the keeper perfectly played. Watch right. Yeah, you see how it kind of carried away from him.
And you got to give that kid a ton of credit. The guts of Jose to come out and try to play that one. And that was a sick move, too, by Setzer to bring it back across the grain, get by the defender. So Norwalk defensively made a couple of big plays. We've seen the ultimate eraser number 4, Gamble. You were talking about that last pass, not there. He's been the biggest reason why up to this point. And now Negrete coming through. Big-time save on that last opportunity by the Colts.
But if you're Coach Gailey, that's a positive. You're getting this offensive attack now. It's your mistakes. It's not Norwalk. It's not their defense per se. It's just you need to complete these passes to give you guys a good offensive opportunity.
Nice theft there by Landon. And a big ball through the middle. Beer waiting on it. Back and forth we go now with Nickel. Shoots it ahead. Snyder off the carom. We'll find Gonzalez. Colts, though, earn the throw-in. And they're going to get a few fresh bodies back into the mix. 3 of them to be exact, with Swendall, Bunnell, and then also Finn McCauley. Coach Gailey trying to keep his dudes fresh out here as we're 22 minutes gone by in the opening half. If you're just joining us, the only goal, Snyder put it away just about 6 minutes into the contest on a perfectly placed pass from Mason Gamble.
Yeah, Gamble completely set that opportunity up. Headed the ball pretty much to himself, used his speed to break away, and then ahead to Snyder, who was on sides for the goal.
McCauley back into the mix. He gets the deflection. Possession.
Great look.
See if Beachy can do anything with it. Turns. Oh, gets by the defender, and then obviously that's a foul. Just outside the box, though. Roman Snyder delivering the blow. And for Clear Fork, this is the exact same angle we saw at the other end for Norwalk. They almost were able to capitalize. Ball right on the line. And Coach Gailey's got 6 dudes feathered all around the box. Diving punch Superman save made by Negrete. So it'll be a throw-in far side. Or they offer in a corner. They are indeed. So the angle of the ball must have eclipsed the touchline, and McCauley looking to get right to work. This one bending back towards Beer. It's down the shot and the diving save. Swindoll smoked it. But Negrete for the second time in the last minute laid out, giving up the body, keeping the shutout intact. Whoa.
Wow, what a save. That was a beautiful stop. Take a look at it right here.
Just settles down right at the feet. Perfect one-timer by Swindoll.
Just punched it out.
And he probably hit that with about 95% efficiency with the contacts. Jose Negrete, looking like a flying squirrel out there, goes diving. Pushes it out of harm's way.
Now, prior to that possession, Clear Fork actually, when they subbed, they brought 3 out and only 2 went in. So they were playing man down for a couple minutes, but then got their other player back out there.
And now they've got a free kick coming up.
Really, in the last 10, 15 minutes of this, Clear Fork has really controlled the pace, but Norwalk doing enough defensively to keep this a 1-0 game.
Goes back to my keys to victory for the Colts. Just capitalize, baby. Got to be able to hammer one of these home. Clean looks. By my count, 3 really solid opportunities, and so far, a goose egg to show for it. Off the restart, everyone hanging around the 15-yard line. That's flicked. Negrete keeps it in play. Heads up stuff.
We got a...
What's the call on the
I saw
field?
the referee whistled and pointed.
I think
It's
they're
a
saying
corner,
the ball
yeah.
was out of bounds. And how about how quickly McCauley played it? A fraction off. Beachy went soaring and right past his eardrum.
Wow.
He probably heard the whistle of the ball zzz, right by.
He had a wide open net on that backside as well.
Beachy now is going to check out. 14 minutes remaining here, opening half.
And I will say in about the last 5 minutes, the humidity has dropped a lot. I'm feeling a nice cool breeze out there now, which should benefit these squads as we move forward.
Still got a nice little coating going on the skin here.
I am in front of the fan as well, but
Might have to flip spots here for the second half. Speaking of flipping spots, how about Setzer on the outside? Gamble chases him.
great stop.
And just trudges right through a couple of Colts. Look at this blistering left foot.
And again, he made that look so easy.
Kept in bounds, far side. Santiago pressured. So he lays it back here for Ferkel. Back to him. Had the triangle going. And just brute strength. Gets it out. Throw in deep in Trucker territory.
Clear Fork does have a sub ready to come back in.
That'll be out of play just beyond the Norwalk Trucker bench. And I couldn't tell if there was a whistle and a free kick or if we've got a throw-in. Looks like it's going to be a penalty and infraction here against Clear Fork, so that'll give Gamble an opportunity.
Both sides with three fouls here in the match.
Mason Gamble with that booming left foot. I think he caught a little piece of the turf with his toe before impact, but it still ends up at the feet of Ferkel.
Norwalk's going to get a throw in.
Just under 12 minutes remaining. Beer has been very solid. There he is again. Punches it out of there, gets it right to Setzer.
Starts the fast break as well.
McCauley back to him. Here comes Cabuto. Wisely gets it to Weichel.
For them to get situated. And they've done the job so far after that 6th minute goal.
Can be easier said than done against an offense like Norwalk, coming off of a 13-goal outburst. Also dropped a 6-pack in a win against Upper Sandusky. Bad spacing though that time. Connor Nickel kind of blew up their own play, but it ends up with Martinez, a little hop, and easily collected by Hayden Wilson, whose name have not called until now. Hasn't do much. Norwalk's been in the attacking third quite a bit. Wilson though has not had to come out and make too many plays. That's chased out by Oglesby. We'll allow a sub here for Landon McCauley to get back out onto the pitch.
Yeah, they were, him and Beachy were standing on that sideline for a good 5 minutes waiting to check in.
Little collision, bodies collide. And the ball sinks back here to midfield. Here comes Landon McCauley. Nice find, far side to Bieri.
Oh, great idea. Had Beachy on the run, but again, too strong. But like you were just saying, Clear Fork's getting it together. They know who to get it to. They know when to go on that run. It's just complete the pass now.
Meanwhile, for Norwalk, had a shot attempt on their last possession. And it feels like they also developing a little bit of momentum up top since they've shifted Juan Martinez to this right outside wing, and they'll get a substitution on the back line now as Oglesby trots off. Final 8 minutes and change here of the opening half. Make sure that you stick around. We'll have the Panchos Tacos halftime report. Travis and I will give you our opinions on the first 40 minutes, share all the stats that you need, and then get you ready for the second half before we have the second part of our doubleheader this evening. Big Walnut is in town for girls soccer action. We'll have the varsity contest live and free at 7 p.m.
Lady Eagles, Division I sectional champions from a year ago. Graduated quite a few, but one of their main scorers back. We'll highlight her in a player spotlight this evening.
Another solid execution there with a triangle effect. Gamble read that one all the way. Steps in front of Weichel, and this is where he's at his best. Tripped up Beer. Got a good piece of him. And Gamble got the whistle. He's not sure exactly what else he's looking for. Maybe a yellow card? It felt to me like Beer was coming up and trying to play the ball. Just Mason very shifty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a foul itself.
Indeed, it'll just be a common foul. It will, however, set up Gamble at the football 28-yard line.
Straight on shot for him.
5 players fanned across the 10. 1 to the right, that's Nickel. And from here, I would not be surprised if Gamble tried to take dead aim. He will chip it over the top. Easy play, though, for Wilson. And nobody really made a run there for Norwalk. A couple of shots over the last few minutes for the Truckers offense, forcing Hayden to make a couple stops.
Ooh, big collision.
Sent Swindoll down to the turf. Looks like he's a little shaken up. Reaching for that right shoulder. So it'll set up a great opportunity here for the Colts. Quality angle here from the football 16. Short touch right to the middle for Weichel. And nothing comes of it. Perhaps a bit of a miscommunication there off the restart for Clear Fork.
Yeah, it looked like he was just playing it, expecting somebody to be about 10 feet to his side, and nobody showed up.
Off the cross again, here's Hayden Wilson dropping to his knees, collecting the rock. No problem for the Colts.
Ooh, and there's that collision.
Yeah, you understand why he was grabbing for that shoulder. The only padded part for these soccer players, of course, then on the shins. And I've learned of some new technology that the referees have been talking to the players about that you can't wear. I don't know, I guess they're lighter and better, but you're not allowed to use them. I didn't get all the details. If you're a soccer person, you know what I'm talking about. Drop us a comment bomb. Fill me in. Oh, great cross. The shot back post to Brett. Dives on top of it. McCauley, another fabulous look here for the Colts.
There's only one place that he would have kicked it and it would have been saved, and was right there down the middle. He put some mustard behind that too. But the keeper up for the task. Remains 1-0.
Truckers flip the field pretty quickly. As we're down to the last 3:45. It'll be a Norwalk throw-in. McCauley lost the handle there on that turn. So we'll get a throw-in on the way here for Mason Barman. Good look for Beachy. Hooks up with Weichel. And when the Colts have stampeded, they've done a whole lot better recently than that last pass there intended for Swindoll. See if Norwalk can take advantage. The shot. And again, Wilson comes through.
Nice job cutting down the angle. Nobody in front of him. Easy save.
That's about 4 of them over the last 7 minutes of action for Hayden Wilson. Wasn't called on much earlier on in the contest. And here comes Clear Fork now. McCauley sends it out wide. Beachy on the chase. Gamble looking to get there first and just forces him off the ball. Referee recognized it.
Yeah, a bit of a shove there.
Still pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Even his shoves look pretty nonchalant.
With the momentum too, it was just a little bit of a. It's kind of
The Jordan push.
the Jordan. Yeah. Use your momentum to your advantage to move it down there. But it's gonna be a good opportunity here for the Colts.
McCauley puts it on net. And a half hop Negrete able to corral that thing. Booming punt. First touched here by Frost. Colts would love to produce at least 1 or 2 more opportunities. Norwalk looking to do exactly the opposite here. That one sent a mile high. Now Martinez, give and go for him. Continues his run, but Bunnell got his right toe in between. Flurry of turnovers here. Bad touch by McCauley.
Clear Fork's done a good job offensively, especially in the midfield, starting the run down the sideline and waiting until the defender commits to them before making that extra pass. And that's why they've been so open on that first pass down the sideline. Kind of like, you know, for football, the RPO. You wait for that that left or right end to commit to either the quarterback or the running back before you pull it. Clear Fork's done a good job on that. It's just that second pass that has proven some problems for them. They found the blueprint now. They just have to execute it. And Coach Gailey will probably talk about that at the half here in 30 seconds after this play by Norwalk.
I believe Gamble got a piece of that one with the header, and it was shifted out wide. Juan Martinez off of that set piece. Battle for possession in the midfield as we're down to about a minute to go.
This will probably be the last offensive attack for Norwalk here in the half.
Certainly feels like they're trying to make it that route. Gamble drives it in low. Pushed out of there by Bronson Frost. And now McCauley skips over. Trying to get something going here. Nice touch. The flick by Beachy back to him out wide. Here comes Wes Bonnell. And Gamble just leveled him like a linebacker. He's arguing his case. I have no idea why. He might get a card for that.
20 seconds. Referee's just holding the ball right now. Clock's still running.
So sometimes it feels a little different than it looks for Gamble. But I'm not sure what he thinks he's arguing there. I mean, he absolutely just smushed him.
I mean, that was a lot more deliberate than the last one. The little bump. This time, he just ran right through him.
So a prime opportunity.
Yeah, it was in the box. It's a PK.
They're going to set up Owen Weichel with the opportunity. 10 seconds showing on the clock. Negrete has been extraordinary so far in the first half. Trying to keep a clean sheet.
I was thrown off. I forgot couldn't see the gray of the box, but yeah, it was inside.
Weichel hit it right at him. The shutout remains intact. Clock should be rolling. I think they're saying maybe that was an untimed PK.
Not going to matter. He'll just hold on to it for the last 10 seconds, but wow. Tried going low corner, nothing doing, and that's how the half's going to end.
Clear Fork creates more opportunities than the Truckers. They deliver on none as it's 1-0 on our Jackson Wells Services scoreboard with 40 minutes in the books. We're going to take a quick commercial timeout. When we return, Travis and I will break down the first half, get you the stats you need to know, and get you all ready for half number 2. You're enjoying live and free boys high school soccer exclusively on the OH Report.
Are you looking for a solid career? job security, great pay, and rapid advancement, an important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow. Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Today's high school soccer broadcast brought to you folks live and free by the good folks over at Jackson Well Services. Family owned and operated since 1977, serving all of Ohio. Come on down to Panchos Tacos to get the best food and drinks in town, located in Mansfield, Bellville, and now Mount Vernon. Try their delicious tacos, rice bowls, fajitas, and of course, margaritas after the game. They'll see you soon, amigos. Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows, and doors since 1970. Charter Next Generation, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. And Scout Construction Services, LLC. With more than a decade of business, you can trust Scout with your roofing and siding needs. Call Josh Mobley for more information at 419-989-7240. Get him set up for your next project. We'll be right back with your halftime report after this.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement, an important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow. Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome back for your Panchos Tacos halftime show. The best Mexican food in all of Bellville. But right now, it's the kids from Norwalk who are enjoying a 1-0 cushion here inside of the Colt Corral. As Clear Fork looking to continue their win streak, they'll have some work to do. I'm Brian Skrosky. Travis Berardi is with me here this afternoon from the Valley. Both teams have produced quite a bit of offensive looks and opportunities. It's just Norwalk cashing in early. And then what goalie work for Neglect here in that first half. He had about 3 jaw-dropping saves, unafraid to come out, test himself. And certainly we saw him typing around like a house cat playing on a jungle gym, and he's keeping the clean sheet.
Yeah, and then also the save on the penalty kick wasn't the greatest of penalty kicks taken, but still, got to make the save there. He did, got his own deflection, and yeah, clean sheet as we take a look at the halftime statistics. 8-7, Clear Fork, they're peppering the goal. 7 shots on goal, 7 saves. You and I talked, they have a little bit of an advantage on the possession side of things. 3 offsides, those were early on as they're trying to get that, that second pass off the left side going. They really established it, especially late in the half, but, that just complete one more pass and they're going to get a good look at the net. A lot of fouls in that first half. We saw a couple ones. When it led to the penalty kick right at the end too, but they're playing physical soccer out there. Both these teams want to continue their run of wins, and it showed so far. 1-0 to score in favor of the Truckers.
Of those 6 fouls that they've collected, I believe 4 have gone against Mason Gamble. And as I talked about in the first half, referencing Liam Beer and some of the physical play that he had, that's what you want from your sweeper or your monster or whatever you want to call that position that's the center of your back line. Just you want to be a tough physical threat and make people think about it if they're going to come charging inside of your 18. He did a great job of that. Did lead to a penalty kick that did not cost them there in the closing seconds of the first half. So that a big bullet dodged. Otherwise, this should be tied here at the break. And for Clear Fork, with those 7 of 8 shots coming on frame, 5 of them by my count were really quality looks, Travis. So that was my key to tonight's game, is just taking advantage of your opportunities. And right now, Clear Fork is not. They just can't seem to find the back of the net. And that's something that they're obviously going to have to do a better job of. Just and
hopefully they don't have a cow.
Just don't have a cow, man. Bart Sensom, he had some great words of advice. I think perhaps that one tops the charts.
A good thing, cows are not sitting down. It means it's not going to rain. That's something I've learned throughout the years. If the cows sit down, that means rain's on the way.
Our producer's shaking his head like he has heard this as well. I just figured that was a West Virginia thing that you guys knew. He heard.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't joking. So Akron's up 3-0 on Ohio State, huh?
Yeah.
Opening drive, they get some points. Interesting. So I know that you guys would much rather watch high school soccer with us, so I'll keep you updated anytime the Buckeyes do anything cool.
Or actually, we can pull it up on the bigger screen.
It's whatever. I'll mostly be watching the soccer. I'll just look down every now and again. But I do got to say, I feel like I know more Ohio State football players this year than I have in quite a few seasons. Going back to like the 13, 14, 15 years when we had Zeke Elliott, that nice run of quarterbacks with JT and the boys. This is going to be a very exciting year down in Columbus.
Yeah, because Ohio State has all the best players from other squads that people knew. NIL, man, it's working.
Transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't diving in and getting your collection of new guys, you're missing out.
And probably not winning many games.
Clear Fork. Oh, great setup here on the near side. Martin getting the start. He blasts it back posts. And Negrete, he has perfectly judged when to come out and pressure, when to lay back. And I think that is a perfect example there of Nick Martin.
And he also, Martin on the follow through, kicked into the turf. I almost said dirt. Kicked into the turf. He saw a bunch of the pebbles popping up there, and that's why it wasn't as hard of a shot that he'd wanted to take. But that was perfectly executed. Like I said, Clear Fork needed to finish that second pass. They did, and look at the look that they got.
Meanwhile, the Truckers trying to get back on the attack. Beer says not this time. Steps in front. And now McCauley, a couple shuffle steps. And his space gets invaded. It's taken away here by Ben Snyder. He sends forward and comes through with the shot and finds its way into the back. Snyder even collecting the ball. He wants a souvenir. His second.
Clear Fork with a very good opportunity on the offensive end. Couldn't score. And Norwalk right back at you. (2-0), 48th minute.
Both of his goals have come early on. The one in the first half, 5 minutes, 50 seconds in. This one, just $1.40. Impressive stuff that time by Snyder, and just never gave up on it. Just kept trudging through. Had a little bit of a battle going. Show it one more time. Just sneaks in. Threads it through the back and even leaps over the top of Wilson to collect the ball and get it back to midfield.
Clear Fork they could not clear the ball out. Norwalk made them pay. Snyder 2, Clear Fork 0.
Colts have been playing some great offensive soccer here as of late. 6-0 decision against Galleon their last time out. A 2-2 draw against Huron. So averaging 4 goals per outing the last couple. As we've got an injured Trucker down on the field here on the near sideline. So the referee will stop the clock. It's Kingston Gonzalez who's helped up. Coach, or the trainer down here for Clear Fork, gave him a little shove like, dude, you're good.
Even the referee laughed, so they had an exchange. But this is the play. I know some Norwalk fans were calling for a foul, but they just opened the door and he just fell through that. Might have landed on his hip wrong a little bit. Hip pointer, something like that, but he's up and moving around up there. It'll be a drop ball at midfield for Clear Fork.
Snyder came through, applied a little pressure, forced a bad pass. Santiago there to pick it off. But now deflected here for the Colts. Gamble clears. Trucker throwing on the way here from the far sideline.
Now for the Colts, you want to try and get that answer, cut it back to 1 here shortly. Try and get some of that momentum back. Because Norwalk can really change things up now with a 2-goal lead. It's a souvenir for some lucky fan.
They normally make you give those back, unfortunately. Beer didn't get all that one, can't clear it. Snyder settles, shoots, and that one just wide of frame. So a goal kick coming up here for Clear Fork. Just about 4 minutes milked off the clock here in half number 2. Off the pressure, the takeaway, and here comes Snyder, Roman Snyder. They'll drip this one. Wilson comes off his line to collect.
Man, what a throw.
Chased by Beachy, punched out by Norwood, got there first. Colts want to act fast off the throw-in. Here comes Martin, heavy touch. And off the deflection, that's going to go off of Nick, who did give you a pinky promise before the match.
Mm-hmm.
We won't say what it was for, but
not working right now.
We'll just say he's got a little bit to accomplish here over these next 35 minutes to make sure it comes true. There he is, giving maximum effort, stepping in front. Furkel dancing, able to get around Weichel.
Offsides. First on Norwalk today.
Yeah, waited about a touch too long there to try to set up Barman on the near sideline.
Want to say hello to everybody watching live and free.
Hi, guys.
Get in the fan zone. Give us a shout out. We'll shout you back out.
Always love knowing where people are watching from. Last night in my football game, had fans from Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, and the UK that all chimed in about a 3-minute stretch.
SEC country and then the UK.
Football country.
Remember when they had NFL Europe?
I do. Is that a thing of the past? Has that been
it's
gone for a long time?
Well, it's not what it was because they actually had, what, 4 or 5 teams playing against each other back then. Now it's just like the academy.
The Gret skies over the top. Beachy tried to get a dome on it.
He is not afraid to go right at you.
Love what we've seen from Cade Beachy now in his sophomore campaign, looking to pick up where his elder brother left off. The Beachy legacy has been strong here. Assistant coach Matt down working the sidelines as well here today. Always cool anytime you get a family affair and just a long line of lineage all competing for the same program.
Like we'll see in the girls' match with one Mel Bluebaugh.
Also, Coach Bechtel's got a daughter playing on the team. Turf Monster.
That's just been the day for Clear Fork.
Yeah. Reminded that on Coach's Corner, our first episode featuring Buckeye Central, we had a 3-pack of McDougal's on there. A coach and 2 daughters. And they just had 3 McDougal's on the team last year to go along with Coach. And they seem to do it pretty well. My kids won't even let me coach them in the driveway, so I couldn't imagine
I
being
understand
their varsity coach. Well, tell me more, Travis. What do I need to improve on here? How can I be a better voice for my children's athletic endeavors?
I'm just going to let that go. And
No response?
no.
Okay.
You're a very enthusiastic, animated coach.
Yep.
That's not a bad thing.
Yep.
Not a bad thing. Some people just can't. You know?
So, but maybe for some people it can be. Is that? Should I
maybe.
read between the lines here?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say you go all in on everything you do, which is a good thing.
I've been a much better dad in the stands this year.
You're a great dad.
I've been
Yeah.
well, I've been taking some pictures for my daughter's soccer matches in the first half, and then in the second half, I'm keeping my mouth shut, and I am just clapping when I'm told. I'm just waiting for the applause sign to come on, and not.
Well, also you learned from seeing some, parents in the stands at our games and being like, "Wow, that's a little too much." You know?
Indeed, I haven't brought a cowbell yet.
Well, not just just criticism that referees and things like that. Letting the referees, letting the coaches do their thing, and keeping it to yourself in the stands.
Any and all referees who are tuning in or might go back and watch these games after they have refs, I just want to let you know that I have the utmost respect for all of you. And as a parent, I never critique the refs because I know, first and foremost, how few of them there are out there, and then secondly, just how tough it is. I refed
Double yep.
7-year-old soccer matches and felt like I was blowing a few calls here and there. So
Sometimes you got to do it to understand too. Hey. And like today, only 2 refs on each side. And I think they've called a pretty darn good match so far, even being a man down.
yeah, it's been a pretty clean game, at least in that regard. Very physical, specifically at the end of that first half. As this is flicked forward, Gamble's going to get there first. What I appreciate a lot about him is that he's not just swatting it out of there just to clear. He's typically finding feet, getting hooked up with teammates, and initiating the counter strikes. Though this off of a trucker, unless they change the call. No, they won't. It's just going to be a substitution here for Clear Fork with Sam Swindoll checking in. He will spell out Wes Bunnell.
I will ask you, big match coming up, I think next week between Ontario and Clear Fork on the girls' side. Being a father of an Ontario player on the JV team, very good player on the JV team, by the way. Hello, Aaliyah. Calling a match between them and the team that we have covered and are contracted with. How are you going to be conflicted on your rooting interests?
No, I think I'm going to be pretty neutral. My daughter's not, she doesn't even swing, so she won't be out there on the varsity roster. And while I do very much root for Ontario when I'm at their matches, when I'm calling the game, will be no problems. I very much look forward to that one that's decided the MOAC each year that those two squads have been involved in it. And crazy that it's going to be early September and the MOAC may already be decided after that one. The boys is a little bit different story.
Yeah.
How about the emergence of River Valley knocking off Ontario a couple of days ago?
They had a big win at the end of the season, knocking off Clear Fork, knocking them out of the MOAC race. And then Ontario riding the high of that 3-1, 3-0 victory over Lexington and going into River Valley, and River Valley putting up the 3-1 victory. So maybe a 3-team race now, depending on what Clear Fork does against Ontario and River Valley.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting for teams like the Colts in Ontario who they don't get much out of going and just smacking a squad 10-0 within the league play. You'd like to be able to get some competition. And speaking of which, Ohio State on the board. And this is our brand new 5-star freshman wide receiver out of the state of Florida. Can't remember his first. I think it's Jalen Smith. I know his last name is Smith, but he just caught an excellent touchdown pass. So Buckeyes, first touchdown of the season, and it's an 18-year-old.
I will say, though, watching your quarterback, Will Howard, throw for Kansas State last year in the Big 12, you guys got yourselves a quarterback. And I will say it's a big step up from the guy you had last year. Would have completed that pass on 4th down against Michigan, just saying.
Yeah, nice dual threat too, Will Howard. Got some great legs.
Speaking of great legs, what a run here by Clear Fork.
Sets it up out wide for McCauley,
but
but
look
Gamble
who's there.
again. I mean, he has been sharp, solid, first to the punch.
Doesn't have to gamble on many plays either, just he's that good.
But the slide tackle, that's what I'm talking about. He's done it efficiently. He's collected the ball, but also just wanting to avoid some of that physicality when you're running at full speed. He doesn't think about those kind of things. And that's the mark of a good sweeper. And that's why he'll be a potential All-Ohio candidate.
Missed throw. So Norwalk will get the throw in now. But also, like we said earlier with the defense, he doesn't get carded. He goes in hard, has not been carded. He's been called for a few fouls, but trying to do it as clean as possible.
Couple of nice soft touches. Now Snyder unleashes one a little bit closer than I think he probably anticipated was going to be, drifting. And the score remains 2-0 on our Jackson Well Services scoreboard here as we're approaching the midway point of half number 2. And for Clear Fork,
when do you change up your philosophy and go all in to try and get the goal? At least the first goal. Get back in this.
They would love, of course, to be able to put a little pressure on, try to trim this down to a 1-goal differential.
And there, once again, waited for the defender to commit.
Oh, beautiful deflection. Both McCauley's went
Great
after the
slide.
rock.
Oglesby got all ball on that. It'll be a throw-in, but that's a great job shutting down that opportunity.
Flicked by Beachy. Gamble just twist this one. And the Colts, I mean, they're trying to get back on the attack on the throw-in. Fast and furious here this afternoon.
I don't think they were ready for that throw-in, though.
Good looking play there by Liam Beer. Good read on the backside there to break it up too. As a whistle will blow it dead, and Wes Bunnell will come back in for Landon McCauley, the sophomore, putting in some very hectic minutes. Saw his engine revving.
Looking across, I see the JVs of Big Walnut getting warmed up. The varsity up in the stands. That'll be the second half of our doubleheader tonight. Big Walnut taking on Clear Fork.
Full day of athletics out here in the Valley. JV football this morning. 4 soccer matches. Jess Brokaw, one of the best ADs in the game, making it all come together. She never shies away from having multiple events all going down here at the Corral. I remember one time, baseball, softball, track and field, and a school dance were all going on at once a few months ago, and she was in charge somehow of all of it. Not sure how, but it all flowed.
And she has all her hair still, too.
She does. She's got a hat on today. Maybe a couple grays got to start be poking out. Eventually, you would think, though. My wife still doesn't. We're basically the same age. I've got a gray beard coming in.
I will say I've had to use the tweezers a couple times in the last couple of months because one's trying to creep in. I'm like, nah, not yet, bud. Not yet, bud.
Oh, great ball over the top. Took a healthy skip a little bit too far in front of Snyder. And again, we see Hayden Wilson. He's got the cannon out there. Good give and go. Weichel to Beachy. Threads the needle out wide. McCauley. The cross, and Negrete, the only one there to make a play. Jose Negrete looking for a second consecutive shutout, 3rd of the season. And this Norwalk team that made it all the way to the district championship. First time they had been there since winning the whole thing back in 2013.
A 10-year break.
They've got so many kids back from that team, and especially some of their top elite athletes like Jose, obviously Gamble. We've seen 2 goals delivered today by Snyder that I think that'll probably be in contention again this year against the likes of Lexington, Ontario, and now Madison
Rams,
I believe,
well,
dropping down.
Just looking at how teams have played so far, Madison, Lexington, Madison at least contenders for the OCC this year. And maybe a top seed. I mean, what we saw with Lexington against Ontario and then the way Ontario played against River Valley Madison, it's really, you can't really pick out a front runner yet by the way these games have been played.
Madison still
I'd say
undefeated.
they got the upper hand right now.
4-0. They've only allowed 3 goals so far. And you look at the opponents, defeating Norwalk, Ontario, Clear Fork, and Vermilion, who was a top seed in the district last year. I think we can declare a favorite.
And you know what? They were rebuilding the right way. Another foul on Clear Fork. That's their 8th of the match. But, you know, they knew they were going to have a couple down years, but had a big class coming up, and that class now showing out. We talked about it on opening night. They built their program the right way after that excruciatingly difficult loss in overtime to Lexington in that district final back when Lexington went to the Final Four. But, you know, regrouped. That's an easy save. And now they're competing back at the top.
We've seen Clear Fork since about 2018. I think they've only had a losing season, floating right around 10 or more wins every single year. They've been on the cusp, haven't been able to break through when they've been into tournament action. This year they dropped down to Division 4. So it'll be different teams, new competition for them. They won't have to go through the likes of an Ontario or a Lexington or a Madison or a Norwalk to try to punch their ticket into a district or even a regional. So I think that certainly changes the mindset for Clear Fork as they start getting closer and closer to the playoffs. And just kind of detailed my thoughts on Norwalk, that I feel like they probably, coming off of a district championship appearance, got to be feeling like they should be in the mix yet again to return, try to get back to a regional for the first time in 11 seasons.
Well, especially all those returning players. They've had the taste now. So if they are able to make a run, it's not new to them. They've been there. They can play the way they want to.
Nobody able to collect possession here over the last about 15 touches.
Oof.
As there's a big collision. Beer got wrapped up, and Truckers in prime position now with Furkel hitting the deck.
I think we're going to get our first card of the day. Yep.
So Beer's going to have to head off. He'll get replaced by Landon McCauley.
That's a yellow. In a nice spot for this kick, too.
5 Colt wall setup.
Pack of Colts.
And Ben Snyder on the ball here for the Truckers. He's got 3 options to his left. He's going to chip it over the top. Try to connect with Furkel. And not bad execution. Just a very athletic play there by Hayden Wilson. Reaching back, getting upon it, knocking it out of harm's way.
And even able to advance it, you know, past the 20-yard mark on the football field. So a good job by Clear Fork after the near goal to let them reset.
Beer wasting no time getting back into the mix. He replaces Bronson Frost. So he's back into the middle of the picture. Throwing, and the header sells a bit too tall for Kingston Gonzalez. As we're under 18 minutes remaining here in the first of our 2 matches today. Colts trailing by 2. Had a lot of shot opportunities in the first half. Offensively, haven't been quite the same threat here over the last 25 minutes. It's been Norwalk living down here in the attacking third for the most part. As Snyder, the Meg, Beer has it deflected. Pops up here for Oglesby. Off the turn. Oh, pretty stuff right there for Ferkel, but runs into a crowd.
Bend but not break right now for Clear Fork, but they have to get something going. 16 minutes left. Need 2 goals to tie.
Try to flip the field with Bieri. Now Beachy back into the picture, drops it back. McCauley. Colts trying to move around the defense at Norwalk, soften things up as Bunnell spins, finds some space. Now for Swindoll. Pouncing off of bodies.
Ooh. Oh.
Now, what do we got here? AJ was gearing up for a big shot attempt. I think half of the audience felt like that was against Norwalk. The other half, Clear Fork.
I think the first time, just Norwalk player put his foot right in front of the ball. And on the swing, he just kicked the ball and fell. And then the second time was just a little frustration. Now we have a Colt down.
Yeah, I noticed out of the corner of my eye, I think it's Wes Bunnell just dropped in a heap. He was reaching for his right leg, perhaps a cramp. Don't think this was any kind of a contact injury. So he'll get helped off by a couple of his teammates. Coach Gailey comes in to check on him. He'll supply the support the rest of the way off.
Hopefully it's not the dreaded non-contact injury.
He was standing in place when it hit him. I was caught it out of the corner of my eye, and then just all of a sudden he just kind of dropped.
Hopefully it's a cramp, nothing else.
Big booming kick for Negrete to get things back underway. Beachy turns towards the middle of the park. Snyder on him. And not a good touch there from Landon McCauley. Truckers possession. They'll have the throw in from the near sideline.
They will take their time getting it back in as well.
Every little bit here that can come off the clock for Norwalk benefits them the longer this match goes on.
No.
Little rush there for Coy. Didn't have a defender right up on top of him. So it'll be another trucker throw-in. Swindoll after the turnover. Has that one redirected out wide off the shin guards of Oglesby, but kept in play. Trucker send it forward. Here's Snyder.
Look at Beer fighting him off, and I think he just drew a foul too. Yes, he did. Nice job by him.
Good strong play from Liam Beer. Gets Clear Fork possession back, but running out of time. Clock winding close to 14 minutes remaining. Ooh. Colts in danger of suffering their third defeat of the season. Came out of the gates at 0-2 with losses to Madison and Central Christian. A draw with Huron and a 6-0 win against Galleon in their last match. So briefly speaking with Coach Gailey in the press box, felt like they've been getting a lot better. Thought that last week was just a good week from top to bottom, and felt like some momentum was starting to accumulate for them heading into this one today. Knew that it was going to be a tough opponent. We knew what Norwalk had coming back, but the confidence certainly was there, and we saw it on display in the first half. I think this is a little bit different looking Clear Fork team in half number 2. Not quite the same connectivity. And they were working it down the left side for a lot of success in the first half. Haven't seen those same windows opened up here in half number 2, Trav.
Yeah, they're keeping it on their sideline for this, well, the whole time of the match on both ways. But yeah, that left side, they're doing a good job drawing the defender in once he committed making that pass, and it gave them a good run. But they really have not, I'd say maybe twice in the second half they've had the opportunity, but nothing doing. Now the Colts will have a deep free kick here on a stopped clock.
Beer handles it, able to find a teammate, drops at the feet. Now let's see if Beachy can cook. He's been deferring a little bit, trying to get others involved. Sometimes you just want your best players to try to make something happen. And Swindell, I think, caught him in the side of the cheek there. And lets this one loose from way deep.
Just trying to get something going.
Plenty of time rolling off the clock right now with Negrete.
We went halfway to get the ball and thought, oh, wait, I have one behind the net. I'll walk back and get it.
Do have ball boys littered around the turf here this afternoon as well, so no need for Negrete or anybody else to go chase down one of those rocks. Or nuggets, as Larry Atkinson likes to call them. I didn't know what he was saying the other day when he was telling girls to go round up their nuggets. I was like, are they eating before the game? Just talking about soccer balls, so have you heard that reference
before? No, I have not.
Maybe it's just a him thing. Little bit of a collision and a push.
I think he might have got spiked.
But for Bronson Frost, after giving the push, he instantly turns his back. Gamble was coming in to initiate aggressively. If you're Bronson, you probably got to stand in there.
I think did he get spiked on the leg?
Probably got stepped on. Jose Negrete. Can't exactly tell what's bothering him.
Yeah, I don't.
Reaching for his right shoulder, perhaps. Also might have got.
Yeah, he is right at the shoulder. I don't. Let's see. Oh, he got kicked. He did get a little inadvertent kick there.
Jose being tended to right now by the trainer. Kind of a de facto timeout here for both of these clubs. Clear Fork sends over all their players to the sideline, including the keeper. Quick thank you to all of our generous sponsors, bringing you guys live and free coverage today, including Charter Next Generation, who's hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows, and doors since 1970. Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. Jackson Well Services, family-owned and operated since 1977, and they don't just serve our area, they serve all of Ohio. Come on down to Panchos Tacos after the game. They've got rice bowls, tacos, fajitas. I mean, I might well have a little bit of time in between games here.
What was it, pulled pork burrito?
Brisket, even better, baby. And then Scout Construction Services, LLC, who's got more than a decade of business, so you can trust them with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout for more info at 419-989-7240.
Got a new keeper ready to go. We'll see. Clear Fork, I think the lone break they've gotten today is the change of keeper. See if they go right at him. A couple deeper shots or whatnot, but they're going to have to get on that right now.
Oh, wow.
For a handball?
Yeah, I certainly thought there at first that we were going to get a foul against Norwalk. As Darian Johnson, the sophomore, kind of poked the back of the boot. They allowed it to play on, and now it's going to be a free kick the other way. Short one, connecting with feet here for Ferkel, who makes his run. Now Oglesby out to the sideline. Can't keep it in. So Colts got a throw in with 10.5 minutes remaining. And they'll get a substitution as well with Wes Bunnell spelling out Landon McCauley. Just one last reminder that we do have another Clear Fork match coming up. The girls LCP will be in competition. Division I Big Walnut here in the house for an evening affair. They'll play under the lights 7 p.m. We'll have all the action live and free for you folks. Travis and I will be on the call. And we've got a cool interception in the Ohio State game, just keeping you guys informed. An Akron player actually caught it and then ripped out of his hands.
Here you go. You can have it.
Burke with the interception, and it sets up the Buckeyes just outside the red zone, leading, 7-3. How cool to have college football back. It makes my morning a little bit different on a Saturday when I wake up, and I know the game day crew is going to be keeping me entertained. Now, I normally don't get to watch a lot of college football because I'm always calling high school sports.
But when you do, it's great.
It's always fantastic. Keeping an eye, the highlights, and some big ones hopefully coming out of Columbus this year. Handball there on Gonzalez. And this has been what Clear Fork's done all afternoon. Super fast on the restarts, not taking time, not really allowing anything to get set up per se. I think the strategy probably to try to catch Norwalk off guard hadn't necessarily played in their favor so far. But we've got a trucker down, getting stretched out, cramping, going back inside of the 18 as the clock stopped. And a lot of pain.
I was thankful enough to not experience cramps in my playing days. But heard they're not good. They're not very pleasant.
Yeah, I've never been taken out of a game via cramp either, actually, that I can think of. Until I got old at the YMCA.
Yeah.
But by then, they don't have to wait for you. Just walk off the floor, point at the next guy, say you're up, and go hang out on the exercise bike for a while. New YMCA being built down here in Bellville.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game changer, I think, for the area, just in terms of what we're going to be able to do for certainly summer sports, getting a lot of soccer teams to come out here.
Yeah, I've seen the blueprints. It's supposed to be a beautiful complex down here. Kind of rivals the Cedar Point Sports Force Park up there in Sandusky.
Yeah, I think they will have baseball, softball, hopefully a few gyms for some hoops as well. As we're back into our fan zone. What's up, Omar? Vamos, he says. Know a few Spanish words, thanks to my kids. Brittany says, yeah, Jose, and she's been able to say that a bunch here today. He's been fantastic. Oh, happy birthday to Mason Gamble. Thanks for the info, Holly. Another birthday wish for Mason. And I think Snyder is probably going to have to be our MVP. Probably won't be speaking to Mason tonight if the score holds up. But perhaps during his shout-outs, he'll give one to his teammate.
You usually see that from the teammates.
And I got to presume senior year, probably 18 years old today. That's a big one, of course. As Travis uncomfortably watches the restart of Penn State, West Virginia. His Mountaineers getting tagged at home.
Penn State's not that good either. You Ohio State fans are going to be fine against them. It's just West Virginia, as usual, trash against ranked teams. That's all. That's all. So all you Ohio State fans out there, just run James Franklin and Drew Aller into the ground. That's all I'm going to say. Clear Fork hoping to run a couple shots into the net to salvage at least a tie here in the final 8 minutes, but they got some work to do.
It's been a while since they've been able to produce a quality look on frame in the second half. Jose has been solid, very sharp, cutting down angles. Seldom tested here over these last 30 minutes. And he returns back to action. Off the goal kick. Thunderous right leg. Handled out of the sky, though, by Clear Fork. But the second touch off the header from Cade sails out of bounds, and it'll be Trucker ball. 7.5 minutes remaining here at the Colt Corral. Brian and Travis with you here this afternoon. And it's really cooled off the temperature.
Overcast skies. Don't think we're going to get any rain, though, which is a good thing. Humidity's starting to go down.
And a lot of space for Bronson Frost. Back end would have been Finn McCauley on the charge. Couldn't sneak it through. Now here's Bunnell. Getting it to McCauley. Oh, great pass. Nice look for Bronson. Hesitation move back to the middle. And this one zips in between the uprights. Heavy sauce behind that one, but couldn't keep it down on frame.
Yeah, it just sailed on him. Try to go top post. Through the uprights.
So Weichel with that latest shot offering. Colts likely will start selling out a little bit more, sending an extra player into the picture when they start to move forward for the attack. And a lot of problems here for whatever reason for Bunnell.
That's not.
And he is down right now. Collision, Hayden Wilson had to come out. That was just a very strange. Don't like seeing that.
He got back up, though, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it looked like Wes just kind of, well, you're half paying attention to what you're doing there for a little while. And he's got his hands down on his knees right now. I think a little shaken up off that collision with the keeper. How could you not be? Little miss Measures right there behind the intended target. And deflected out of bounds off Swindoll, so this will be a Trucker throw-in. Clock continues to wind here as Norwood awaits the rock at midfield.
The Nugget.
Yeah, went up about 10 yards of where the ball exited for the throw. And now it's back over to Clear Fork.
That's just a smart play by Norwalk, just kicking it back down. It'll be a goal kick, but it's going to take time off the clock.
That's the birthday boy, Mason Gamble. Now Landon McCauley's going to check in, presumably for the final 4.5 minutes. Try to make some noise. Norwalk playing a bit more of a defensive-minded strategy right now. Only got about 5 players up in the attacking third, keeping 4 back near midfield. Here comes a wave of Colts, though. Martin Hooking up with Finn.
A little too strong on the pass there.
Weichel over the top of the defense for Cade Beachy. 4 white jerseys surround him. Decent touch to try to keep it in play there for Weichel. Truckers can't get it out of their end just yet. Now here's Norwalk. Best case scenario for them. Try to push it down into the corner. If you can get a shot, great. If not, just make sure that Clear Fork cannot get possession back, and a lot of time coming off. Goal kick.
Yeah, he stepped across the line right before he passed that.
Closing minutes here. Saturday matinee soccer. Frost allowing McCauley to get into the picture, looking to go to work. Chips it over the top. Nice header down by Cade.
Wow, what a save again.
Dude has been awesome. Definitely Jose Negret's day. Of the saves that he has produced, double figures today, probably 7 or 8 of them spectacular stuff, including off of a PK, which could have changed the entire complexion of the match.
Right before the half. And then to start the second half, too, right before the second goal. An opportunity, just a miss hit by Clear Fork. Easily could have been a 2-2 score. Or at the time, it had been 2-1. That might have changed things, too.
2 minutes left.
McCauley crosses it just outside the 18. And striped here by Connor Nickel. Colts looking to get numbers forward. Bad pass by Beer, picked off by Connor.
Beer's had a great day for Clear Fork.
And through the middle, a little bit of pressure being assessed here by the Truckers. Knocked away last second. Owen Bourne comes over.
Be Norwalk's first corner of the day. And if they don't immediately get another one, it'll probably be the last one of the day as well.
Connor Nickel going all the way back off of the field there. There's a net that ended up catching that ball. So this is about 40 seconds off the clock from the time the ball exited. And if this remains Norwalk ball, it will. I mean, they can all but close the door here. And this is a weapon that they used at the end of games during their tournament run last year when they had the lead, bringing Mason Gamble up from that defensive middle spot. Takes another 20, 30 seconds off, and he can just lift this right into the middle of the 18.
10, 9,
Whips it in there on a straight line.
5, 4,
And Norwalk has come here on the road. They will extend their win streak to 2 in a row as they knock off the Colts for a second consecutive season by a final tally of 2-0. We'll take a quick commercial timeout. We will return. We'll have an interview with the Mechanics Bank Most Valuable Player. That'll be Norwalk's Ben Snyder. Travis and I will close out the show, stats and analysis, and get you all ready for the second half of our doubleheader. Keep it here, live and free coverage from the Colt Corral. We'll return in just a moment.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Services, family owned and operated since 1977, serving all of Ohio. Go on down to Panchos Tacos to get the best food and drinks in town. They've got locations in Mansfield, Bellville, and now Mount Vernon. Try their delicious tacos, rice bowls, fajitas, of course, margaritas. Come see them after the game, amigos. Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. Charter Next Generation, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. Home and Kitchen Supply is your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970. And Scout Construction Services, LLC, who's got more than a decade of business, so you can trust them with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout for more info at 419-989-7240. We'll be right back. We've got our MVP here in the building. We will hear from Ben Snyder next. Player of the game brought to you by Mechanics Bank. The goal scorer today, the only one to find the back of the net, Ben Snyder, in a 2-0 victory. Norwalk victorious over Clear Fork today. Let's just talk about the wins. Back-to-back shutouts for you guys. Looks like you got some momentum going right now. How good does it feel as an entire unit to close out the holiday weekend here with another victory?
It feels good. I think we're working together as a team. We're pretty good. There's a couple things we need to fix moving forward, but I feel pretty good on our team.
Had a lot of pieces coming back from the team that made it to the district championship. Jose was a menace today in between the pipes. I mean, that dude, he was like a flying squirrel, made a bunch of really nice saves. And defensively, too, I thought that you guys had some nice pieces out there. So just confidence-wise from what you accomplished last year heading into this season, how were expectations maybe a little bit different in your guys' own minds?
You know, I feel pretty confident in the way we play, Jose being a big part of it. Our back line is pretty well made up. I feel pretty confident. Losing Eric, it might be a little different, scoring goals. A couple people might have to step up, but other than that,
yeah, a record number of goals for the program from him last year. So filling those shoes, how have you taken it upon yourself to kind of shoulder some of that scoring load?
I just try my best out there. Just working with the team. It's pretty much all we can do.
Capitalizing on your opportunities, you were able to do that here. Great pass in that first half from Gamble from the back, and I hear it's his birthday today, right?
Yeah, it is.
So he's probably the tender age of 18, having a birthday boy out there. What kind of juice and enthusiasm was he able to bring?
Mason always brings everything for the team. He brings our team together. Yeah, he's a good part of our team.
So for you guys, you said expectations, confidence really high. Well, what are some standards that you set for yourselves this season? What are some boxes that you wanted to check before you end up getting into tournament action?
You know, obviously going for the title, having the best record possible. That's pretty much it.
Well, congratulations. You check another box here today. Get a victory, 2 in a row for you. So starting to get things rocking and rolling heading into Labor Day. Last but not least, look in the camera. Any old friends that you can think of, maybe someone who helped you with your soccer game growing up, give as many shout-outs as you'd like.
I shout out my girlfriend, Josie. That's it.
Oh, keep it simple. Hey, big brownie points, too. Ben Snyder, our MVP, got an OH Report sticker for you. Thanks so much for the time, bud.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Now for post-game coverage, brought to you by Panchos Tacos Mexican Restaurant with locations in Mansfield, Bellville, and now Mount Vernon. Norwalk comes on the road. They earn a 2-0 victory here today over Clear Fork. Back-to-back wins now for the Truckers, who close out the weekend in style. I'm Brian Skoronsky. Travis Berardi is with me. And this game, Travis, I think kind of just boiled down to making the most of your chances, which Clear Fork could not do, obviously, ending with 0 goals. But just, it felt like the bigger stars, for lack of a better term, played their best here today for Norwalk. Gamble was awesome. Obviously, Snyder, our MVP, put together 2 goals. But Jose Negrete, that dude, to keep the clean sheet, there were not easy saves to be made, and he made them all.
Clear Fork had their chances, especially early on. They had some good offensive movement, but like I said, throughout the match, they just couldn't complete multiple passes to get that good look. And when they did get good looks, keeper was there to stuff them.
Yeah, he was exceptional here this afternoon, stepping up in back-to-back shutouts now for Norwalk. Take a look at the final stats today, brought to you by Panchos Tacos, and it's pretty even across the board. It's just, again, to belabor the point, Clear Fork not capitalizing on the opportunities. 9 shots on net, none of them found their home.
Yeah, just great goalkeeping play, and then on the other side, it was just a great job by Ben Snyder, our MVP, as well as Mason Gamble, the birthday boy, setting him up.
Shout out
for the first goal, and then just the effort that Snyder had on that second goal. Did not quit, went through the smallest of holes and kicked that through past the keeper to make it 2-0 and really change the complexion of the match for the final 30 minutes.
And how about the moxie and the wherewithal for the shout-outs? Just one.
Just one.
Just to the girlfriend. He knows mom and dad, grandma, they're going to love him no matter what. But Josie out there getting that shout-out.
Not even for your teammate that got the assist on the first one for his birthday, but just the girlfriend. Which,
I can dig it.
Hey, got to do what you got to do.
Coming up tonight at 7 p.m., we'll have Big Walnut here in the house, taking on Clear Fork LCP. That's going to be all going down live and free. Next up, both of these teams are going to be in action against Ontario. Maybe there's another game for Norwalk in between there. Let me check their schedule. I was on the OSSCA.
I got it up right here. They have
Looks
Willard,
like they got Willard
on the 4th.
So they'll play Willard, who has been struggling this year, and then Ontario. But for Clear Fork, that's kind of a de facto league championship, and especially with what we saw from River Valley taking care of Ontario at their place. Could be 3 teams competing for the MOAC championship. That's the biggest game on the schedule the rest of the way for them in terms of that mission.
Absolutely, and yeah, you gotta. Doesn't matter what the last couple of games have gone for Clear Fork. You still have that goal of an MOAC championship and a high seed. These losses are to teams ahead of them, a division up, 2 divisions up on them. Now that they're down in D4, take care of business against the teams you're supposed to take care of business with. And if you get a co or an outright MOAC championship, that's just going to help you. So your goals are still out there. It's just you got to pick things up, complete some passes. They had chances, like we said. It wasn't like they just got outplayed the whole time. It was 53-47 on the possession. Just complete some things, a little bit here, a little bit there. Could be a completely different match here today.
But our coverage now in the books. Final time, your final score, 2-0. Norwalk emerges victorious here on the road in the Clear Fork Valley. Want to give a couple of shout-outs to my amazing staff out here for bringing you the action. Shane Young down on the sidelines working a great camera. Jory Hollenbeck, your top camera operator here this evening. Adam Thompson develops the graphics, also was your video switcher and operator of all production parts and pieces here for this matchup. I'm Brian Skoronsky for Travis Berardi, thanking all of our generous sponsors and reminding you yet again that we can see you again at 7 p.m. Lady Colts taking on Big Walnut. Hope to have you back. So long for now.